Welcome, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us today for our happy hour. This is our second happy hour, hosted by artist Kim Arden. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the Gallery and Program Manager with the Guild of Artists and Artisans, and I'm really excited to bring you guys today's program. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome. We hope you come back. If you have been following along this past week or so, welcome back. Our happy hour programs are part of our virtual art series produced by the Guild. Throughout these series, we are offering artist programs twice a week with a Tuesday coffee hour at 10 a.m. and then a Thursday happy hour at 4. These weekly virtual events give artists a platform to share their story, sell their art, take you on a little tour of their home or their studio, demo their artwork, all while connecting with art lovers, you guys, virtually. So each program is intended to be unique from the rest. So we hope that you guys check back in and follow along. You can watch them every time live on Zoom like you are now, or you can watch the recorded versions later on. We post them on the Guild of Artists and Artisans YouTube channel. So you can watch them either way. And then we also encourage you guys to follow along. We have a virtual art series Facebook page. It's our event page. It's where we post all of the Zoom links, the full schedule, updates, and more. So that's a really great way to stay up to date with us throughout this series that we're doing. So as I mentioned, today's happy hour is hosted by Kim Arden. Kim's going to be coming to you live from her very cool home. I got a taste for it the other day. It's really cool, to give you a tour and to show you guys also how she makes her polymer clay cane earring or canes and then sculpts them into flower earrings. So she'll be showing you that, and then she's also going to show you guys how she makes her signature margaritas. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started here, just a couple of quick housekeeping things. It looks like many of you guys already started typing in the comment section, so that's awesome. You guys can leave comments for Kim throughout the program. She'll be able to see them later. You can also leave questions, and I'll chime in throughout the program to pop in and ask questions as they come up. So feel free to ask as we go along. All right, so I am gonna actually go ahead and bring Kim up here. Start our video.
Hey.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. This is pretty exciting. I am so happy to be doing this. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, we're so excited too, and I know you have a full program ahead of us.
So I'll get it all in, yeah.
I'll let you take over and I'll cheers you guys.
Okay, how many people are ended up signing up?
I think it was like 79 or 80. So, and we've got most of them on now, so.
Awesome. You guys, thank you for showing up. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay in the pandemic? I mean, it's just so weird. Being an artist, you know, we tend to work in solitary. And so some things are the same and some things, the thing I miss are the people. It's driving me crazy. I'm on Facebook more than ever, I think, just because I need that connection. So this is wonderful. This is just, oh, I'm so excited. John's here. He's going to help do the filming. But for a while right now, I'm just going to walk you. Hey, here's John. Can you see him? Hold on. Yeah. I've got to get used to this thing. Hey, John, kiss me now. There you go. Lame kiss. Yeah. Okay. So, I am going to walk you around my house. All right. So I'm going to do this thing on the top here where we turn around. Okay. Let's just give a quick, this is my family room and it's just a fun, happy place to be. And I want to show you some of my art that I have throughout the house and just show you guys what makes me happy. I'll show you one of my favorite purchases ever. And that is right here. These were Zsa Zsa Gabor's food dogs. I bought them from her estate auction a couple of years ago. I had no idea they were this huge. I didn't even read the what do you call it? Prospectus. Yes, I didn't read anything. I just said, I got to have those, and look at them. Boy, love them. I dress them up sometimes. I'm going to walk around and we're going to talk about some of the art in the house. And I think I'll just start in this corner. And anytime you got any questions or anything, just go ahead and holler. In the bathroom, I painted the walls with little flowers. My daughter made me that with our favorite little sock monkey that we used to take all over with us. This I got at a show. We traded. This is one of my old pieces. I used to make a lot of found object art. Don't do it so much anymore, but I really miss it. Here's a piece that I made, the table. The bust, my cousin Amy Sue, do you remember this? This, my mom made this when she was in college, and it was the 60s, and this is, you know, Miss America, she called it. And she, it's a self-portrait. When I was filmed here by HGTV, they made me cover her boobs. So don't look. This is kind of the dog wall. And I got Brandy Gerber. This is cool too. This is John's mother, who just passed away at 101 2 months ago. She painted those. Michelle Martis. This is an artist's dog, Rona Katz's dog. Katz has a dog. I picked this up on Etsy. I just love it. This great little guy is from an auction. And my granddaughter, one of my favorite things ever, did her own version of it. Oh, God, is that cool? This guy was in the booth next to me in Ann Arbor. I don't remember his name, but I know this guy. This is Doug Spaulding's work. Is that neat? Look, Doug, you got a bird trophy with it, a couple chickens. And then this is kind of interesting. This is our bedroom. And it's so black and white, no color at all. How cool is that? If you look at the headboard, it is, that was made from our front door. I found the pillars and the trash behind Miracle Mile. I was making a cut through and I used those for the side. But the whole thing is just, John and I made this together. We made it. So there's John. All right, we're coming out this way. This is, yes.
Kim, people want to know more about the HGTV show you mentioned. Your house.
Oh, okay, that's really cool. This is what I made on it. It's this was on That's Clever. They came here all the way from California. And I did like 7 different step outs of this. So I had to show them how I made the polymer clay flowers, and the little cow is incognito because he's hiding in the field. So that was one of my early what would you call them? Mixed media pieces. Yeah, national exposure. Here's a really cool piece. This is a Paul Stankard. Love this guy. I'm lucky to have this. John made this for me. He took some classes. Elizabeth gave me this for Mother's Day. That's a Sean Messenger. That's a Lawton. This might be a Mark Matthews. I'm not sure. Dorothy Reynolds. This is one I made. This is a biological clock. You can see they're all babies, and she's got a clock in her belly. I used to do a lot of silly stuff. Okay, so over here. Oh, this is so cool. Thank you, John. Our daughter Lori was John's daughter Lori was a ceramics major, and she made amazing things in college. And this is John and I forever immortalized on 2 platters. And she also made this big, gorgeous piece. And then behind this is Chuck Wimmer, and this is a Michael Kiefer. And this I got for my 16th birthday. It is an actual Peter Max original, and 1970. I think my mom paid $35 for it back in the day. That's, you know, awesome. This I got for John because it was like how he always was like, oh, to me, because he was just in love. Oh, it was so cool. Anyhow, I'm hurrying. This is right here. When I got this, you guys remember this? If you follow me on Facebook, this was a life event when I got that on eBay. Whoa, I love it. Okay, gotta keep moving. John's mom artwork, more of Lori's artwork. Up here, this is kind of cool. I did, that's something I made, a clock. Oh, hell, I can't remember my lights anymore. So there we go. We got art. I've got it turned off right now because, or it makes a buzz. We got to change the transform around. Anyhow, if you look along the edge of the, is that a soffit or whatever? But I've done polymer clays, and some of my friends have done it. That's Debbie Jackson. What's her name? Really amazing artist. Donna Cato's got a couple in there. Jerry Newfree. There's a nice piece of glass. That's Robin Schultes. And then up here I have just stuff I picked up at garage sales. Oh, DT Rodriguez. Oh, I love this piece. Got that at an auction. And this is one of our prettiest pieces. We got all this crazy art, but this is a nice piece. This is a Pete Beckman. So you can see that we live with our art. It's not just, I mean, it becomes, this is part of who we are. We have it everywhere. So John asked when we made the house, when we did the remodel, he said, I just want one normal room. If you've ever seen Beetlejuice and the husband wants a normal room, this is the normal room. John sits here, he watches the sports, and this is as normal as it gets. There's my puppy, that's Princess Buttercup. She's blind and deaf, and she's living the good life. She's 14. Okay, I don't know how well you can see any of this. This is some of the work I used to do before I went exclusively into polymer clay jewelry. And I did a lot of, the mixed media went from the clocks that you saw to a little bit more serious work. And I sculpted these faces out of polymer clay. I used wire, telephone wire, a lot of telephone wire. And I would make these boxes. And then 9/11, man, 9/11 just came, and it just, like everybody, I had this epiphany. It was just like my artwork changed. So I made, during the weeks, the 2 weeks after, I made this because Donald Rumsfeld always was coming on TV with the official presidential seal in the background. So this is Master of the House, and that was an image that was sort of burned into my head, looking longingly for some sort of a direction. And then I also made this. This is another assemblage piece. This is Corrine. That was in there when I got the box. I found a box and I made a little mask and that. And I don't know if you can see, but this is, she's smiling, but when you turn it, and she's got the deer in the headlight look. Remember we all had that? We just walked around looking at each other going, what the hell? Well, here she is, a more serene girl, and that's what I really wanted to get to. And then this piece, this is when I was looking for the serenity. I wanted the face of just peace and something ethereal. So I made her floating. This is all sewn in here with mylar threads. And this was my dad's. My dad was a ham radio operator, and I scavenged that out of his junk. But then I made this out of polymer. That's made out of polymer. These are some sort of, I think, shuttle things. I don't know. But anyhow, made that and kind of worked through it. This is one other piece I'll show you. And this is sort of when I'm going from this sort of work into my jewelry. And this was a very early piece of my earth tone jewelry. Really neat colors, but I also have the box. It's the last one I have, the only one I have of those. I sold everything else. It's an old clock box that I painted. These branches were in my mother's, one of her funeral arrangements, but I just wanted to have something to mom, I just wanted to have that in there. So there you go. That's just something. Now I'm just all about, well, basically since I met this guy, God, I love him. Yeah, things got real happy and my jewelry got happy. I'm gonna turn this over to John so he can watch me make this fabulous margarita. I hope I'm not running. Am I running too long?
No, you're doing perfect.
Okay, this is so easy, guys. You can make these while you're drunk if you need a second pitcher while you're toasted, whatever. 1 limeade. We were at a show and I was telling a customer about, they had this really good recipe for margaritas and he said, no, I got a better one. And he told me about this and I've made this one ever since. Okay, 1 can. So easy. This is your measuring thing. It could be a little can of limeade or it could be big. Anyhow, 1 can. Whoops. I didn't want to drink that much.
Were you going to tell them what it was that you put in?
Tequila. 1 can tequila. Thank you, John. Now that just annoys me. All that good tequila. Okay, that's just as well because they can get pretty strong. We're going to do 3/4 cup or 3/4 can of this. Now I'll be a little more careful this time. There we go. 3/4 can. And then we got 2 cans of water. It's that easy. Wow, I just have not gotten the hang of that apparently. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Sharon Seuss if you're watching. I love this candle you got me. It is amazing. I don't know what it is, but it is just crazy good. Okay. Look at this. It's a mess. All right. Stir it up. It's always good to defrost the limeade first, and you don't have to worry about chunks and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna take, because I don't have any limes or lemons, I'm gonna have a drink.
They're
This is
wondering
made.
if you can give a quick recap of those ingredients you put in there.
Okay, 1 can limeade, 1 can tequila, 3/4 can of triple sec. If you want to get fancy, you can use Grand Marnier, but you know, just buy the $5 bottle, you'll be fine. 2 cans of water. So it's 1, 1, 1, 2 cups of water, 2 cans of water, 1 equal of tequila, and then 3/4 of
Put your fingers down.
triple sec. Bring it all together. Okay.
Love it,
Again, okay, got it, everybody? Just I'll put it on my website or on my Facebook page. All right. I have really pretty glassware too, and dishes that artists make, because why not? This is really cool. I got this from Crimson Duval. What a great name. The Crimson Duval, I got it because this is the side I have out when I'm drinking my coffee. And this is the side that I have out when I'm drinking my cocktails. So we'll be having this side out. I'm gonna get some, like I said, I don't have any lime, so I'm just gonna use some of the juice from the lid. Salt it. John, you want one?
No,
You
thanks.
really don't? Okay.
Not right now.
Okay. Holy mackerel, that's heavy. Okay, everybody. Cheers. Wait. Cheers. Okay, now we're talking. Honey, will you clean this mess up later? What? I'm in such a sticky kitchen. Okay, I'm gonna take the phone back away from John. He's gonna carry my drinks as I walk down the hallway. Another one of these. All right, I'm gonna show you a few more pieces of art. Long hallway. Kids used to bowl down this. This is our office. Not much going on in here. This was Elizabeth's room when she was young. Now it's the guest room. Here's a piece of Carl Fung's work. Isn't that pretty original? I love this headboard. We picked this up in Toledo at Consignment. Shout out to Tony and Michael. All hand done. Is this gorgeous? John put it, it was my idea, but he did all the work. And so he put that up there. And it makes for an exquisite little headboard. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna go, let's go in here real quick. This is our bathroom, the guest bathroom. But I have a really neat girly picture in here. I picked that up at auction and then had it professionally framed. And I just love it. I just love it. Hey, there I am. Woo-hoo. All right, this is one of my favorite pieces. Picked this up at auction. Is that awful or what? And I found wanted a halo, so I found one of those 60s mirrors. Put that behind it. But it makes me laugh, and I can decorate them for Christmas and put hats on them. This is a Chuck Wimmer picture. And this is a lamp that I paid $1 for, which John says I paid too much. But it's one of my favorites. And then this is just, I love these colors. This apple chartreuse green and red and black and white. So that's what I have. Oh, and here, I'll show you this. We have this, your hosts. We tell them that's so that there's no sex that goes on when they're in our guest room. We don't want anything, no hanky-panky. Marilyn Penchef, got a piece of her work. Okay, here we go. I have a studio in the house. We built one out back. I didn't like it. So we took this as the old master bedroom. Remember the bedroom you saw, the black and white? That was actually used to be our garage, and we had that turned into our own room. So this is where I hole up, and I like the clutter. I like to be surrounded by my favorite things. It's something that's very, very important to me. So I'll come in here and I'll show you a couple things. I had a great bead sale. Look at this. When Crafts 2000 went out of business, I bought enough beads. I don't even use that many beads. And what I do, because I make my beads, but it's always good if you need some. And when they were like, what were they, 60% off and then another 75% off of that, I mean, come on. We filled the car for a couple $100. There's some clay. There's some clay. There's some clay. Here's some things I'm working on. This is going on Etsy later today. This is what we're going to be making. These are already on Etsy. These are going to a store. These are getting made. These are such a neat, brand new style. I don't know if you can see them, but anyhow, those, I just got the ear wires in today. So this will all be available. Just sold this last night. I'm going to miss it. It's a happy fun ball. Louise, this is for Louise, and Louise wanted some purple ones. So here we go. I got a couple pair of purple that you get to pick from. I'll get that later on. Beth, there's your necklace. So again, I sit here and I keep myself surrounded by the things that I love. And it looks like a dang mess, but you know what? I don't care. This is my room. So this is where I work for the most part. This is a clay station. This is kind of where I lay out the necklaces and things where I'll put a white piece of paper out and then I'll lay the beads out. This is where John comes and sits. This is more of his area. He always gets mad when I make it all messy. But I do some beading over here too, like putting together the necklaces. And we're gonna get started here. Everybody doing okay so far? Yay. Okay, let me show you right now. We're gonna make a cane to make these flowers. You know, those flower earrings you saw over there. I'm gonna make a cane, and I'm gonna make several if I have enough time, and show you different ways to make these earrings. So, I'm making a blend. This is what I wanna get to. Right now, it's happy hour. Cheers. Okay, so to get to this pretty little blend, I mixed some colors. I'm going to do what's called a Skinner blend. This lady's name is Judith Skinner. She came up with this. She's an actual scientist at the National Institute of Health. We are all indebted to her for figuring this one out. I wanted to also shout out to the Guild. Hey, Karen, I want to say hi. Hi, Nicole. And of course, Elizabeth. I use your signs. Every time I do a show, I save your signs, and these make the best work surfaces. So just so I know, keep it up. It's great. Okay, I'm going to do a very simple Skinner blend, and I'm only going to do, I'm just going to get it started so you can see how it goes, how it gets started, but it takes about 10-15 minutes to do this. I'm going to talk as I go through. I made this one a V, and then this one, this does not go on here yet. Okay, so this is the whole idea is you're going to run this through this pasta machine, and you want to, they're going to go straight up and down, straight up and down. You'll see in a minute how it gets this nice gradient blend. And I have white on the inside, and it's in a V shape. These are in triangles. And on each side, I'm just going to add a little bit of, I don't know, just 'cause. There's no reason why you can't use this. That's the best part. And a lot of people will cut these exactly rectangular, and they'll even use their, I don't know, those protractors. That's what they use. Oh, for crying out loud, that's ridiculous. It'll all work. Put those down there. Pick up all these little schnitzels everywhere. All right, I'm going to run this through in about maybe 5 times until you get the idea, and then we'll go to the next piece. But I have to, I'm going to run it through my pasta machine, straight up and down. It's very loud. The first one's bad. I've actually gone through, this is my 3rd pasta machine this year. This is actually an old one. Okay, see how my colors are all straight up and down. But because they're on an angle, they're going to start to blend. Because I have no patience, I'm going to triple it and see what I get. That should start moving it. Oh, you're loud. Okay, you can see the colors starting to come through the white. Couple more times. Oh yeah, there we go. And I would do this about 30 times. You see, I'm always keeping these colors straight because it was on an angle. That's where the mixing happens. And you keep going until, oh, is that gorgeous? That's beautiful. This is gonna make a very, very nice flower. So I'm gonna put this over here for now.
Quick
I made it
question
in a
for you,
different-
Kim.
What's that?
So Karen wants to know, how long have you been doing this and what got you into polymer?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I was sculpting art dolls, like show them this art doll. I did not make this, but art dolls was where I started with the polymer clay. I've been doing polymer clay for 32 years. I started 6 months after my daughter was born. I don't think I have any other, oh, there's a porcelain doll. Here's 2 porcelain dolls that I made back in the day. I made this. This is a Elsbeth, it's a reproduction, and this is a fairy that I made. I made her wig and her, you know, the whole thing. These are antiques over here, but I sculpted dolls. My mom was a doll sculptor. Come over here, John. Get a picture of these 2. This is my mom's shrine up here. This is all her stuff. But she made those dolls there. Those are little doll heads that she made. And so she was doing dolls. I wanted to do dolls. My friends were making dolls. So I started with the polymer clay. I started with porcelain, then I went into sculpting my own dolls because I wanted to paint them the way I wanted to paint them. Anyhow, I was, get out of it. What are you doing, John? Oh my, show them the other lamp. That's the best.
You won't see this everywhere.
Another wonderful eBay purchase. Is that awesome or what? Okay, so I was at a sewing convention. I only knew about polymer clay coming in like skin tones. And I was sculpting my own heads and putting their bodies together and even sculpting shoes and, you know, just really was cool. I loved it. They were selling in galleries for up to $1,400. I mean, but they weren't enough to do an art show and fill a booth with. So I was at a sewing convention in Toledo, and there was a girl there making buttons out of polymer clay, and it was in bright colors. The clay was called Formello. They don't even make it anymore. But I was just like, gaga. I was like, what? And she made a cane with 5 petals and a flower. And I was like, I'm gonna stalk you. And I did. I stalked her for 3 days. We are still friends. And I learned the simple cane making, bought 3 packs of every color. And my second cane, once I got the concept of the design going all the way through the loaf, my second cane was King Tut's burial mask. I mean, I went all in, straight from the get-go. And I've been doing it ever since. Come over here, John. I want to show them this way. This is one of my earliest necklaces. I still have this. These are this is the second necklace I ever made. As far as the second, my first one was turquoises, and then this one was these, you know, primary and secondary colors. Pretty hideous cane work, but you know, that's where I've come from. That's where it all started. Okay.
Cool, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Amy also wants to know, have you ever used your pasta machine for pasta?
No. No. Shut up, John. No. But I do buy them occasionally. I'll see a pasta machine. I got them everywhere. They're just, I got a pasta machine graveyard. I've gone through 2 pasta machines in Florida. I just go through them. I was buying some cheap ones, and I should have not done that. But anyway, you want to buy an Atlas. The Atlas is the cream of the crop. They will not go bad. I don't know. I've had trouble with motors lately, probably because I'm shoving too much clay through it. But I do buy these things quite often. I'll find them at thrift stores, and they're so gummed up with pasta, and I have to clean them all out. But they're just, somebody had their way with it, and then that was like, no thanks. Okay, so right now, I'm going to take this. I'm going to save half of that blend. But I'm going to make this into, this is the blend like you saw, like a this. All right, and I'm going to run this, let's see. I'm going to make this into a cigar shape. Okay. And then I'm going to do something called back rolling, because I want to make this very long. And I'm going to go as fast as I can. It does take a lot longer than, you know, usually you want to go slowly and coax it into shape, but we don't have the luxury of time, and by gosh, that would be awful boring. So I'm back rolling it. See, I'm backing it up. I'm going to take it, instead of it being long this way, I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it long this way. It's a different way of thinking. It's spatially, I've adapted to it. A lot of people, like when I taught 18 years I taught polymer clay classes. And some people just didn't get the idea of the design going all the way through it. And they didn't get the idea of making it smaller and taking it this way. And for some reason, I thrive. I hate math. I still don't know what 6 times 8 is, but I love this. I love figuring this out. I love just the building of it. Okay, can you see now I've squished it down, and now I'm going to move it this way. I'm going to take it up and down. It I used to tell my students, make it look like a colorful piece of bacon. That way they could see the stripes and they could understand which way it was supposed to go. And it just works with your body heat. Just want to okay. This is going to make a gorgeous flower. I make a lot of blues and purples. I think those are my best sellers, and they're just colors I love. I don't wear them, but they're colors. If you look at my artwork, you'll see a lot of cornflower blue. Okay, pretty much where I want it to be. I'm going to run this through. And also, because I got it warm, it's going to work better. If you don't warm it up, it'll crackle. All right, we're going to run this through the pasta machine at its thickest. Woo. Got quite a bit. All right, I'm going to save these little ends. I'm going to cut these off. All right, and I did some step outs. All right, so I've got this long piece, and I want to add some color in it.
Kim, what brand of clay do you recommend?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I use predominantly Primo. This is how it comes. These are the colors. I mix all my colors except for my primaries, of course, and black and white. But it comes in, look at this, is a new color. Isn't that delicious? I think it's called raspberry. I could eat it. But anyhow, souffle is great, and you can mix the two together. And these come in 2-ounce packages, but if you can look back here, and I'm kind of low right now because I just got back in from Florida, but I buy it by the pound. And I don't usually get below 5 pounds, and that's time for an order. But the problem is right now, the stores that I can get it at, that's closed. So I'll just have to, what do you call it, John? Just in time, when you
Yes.
order things when you need them. Okay, got this really thin piece of lavender that I made up earlier. Okay, and then I'm going to take this other piece, and I am going to, oh, wait a minute, there's a hair. We can't have that. Do I have it? Yes. Okay. All right. And I'm going to take it and put that on here like so. And I'm going to cut this little piece, take this off. I'm going to save that for the end. Okay, so now I've got this. This is a very simple cane that I'm making here. So, I mean, I got to keep it. Usually it'll take me a couple hours to make a cane. So I'm going to put this up here. And again, there's no, you can do what you want. This is your bad boy. Okay. Well, well, well. Okay. I think these colors are going to look great together. You want to, when you roll it out, again, it doesn't really, because I'm doing something that's organic, like if I was doing a piano keyboard in a cane, I'd have to be very precise. But right now I'm making a flower. So it's very organic, and So there's some dots are bigger than others. These little snakes I'm putting in, they're gonna become dots in the flower petal.
Kim,
Then
I'm not sure if you mentioned this before, but where did you say where do you get your clay from?
I buy it from Monroe's up on Berkeley I think it's in Berkeley on 13 Mile Road. If anybody's ever been to Monroe's, it's like the most awesome place on earth. They have everything you'd ever want. My husband hates the place, but he usually goes with me, as he calls it, damage control. But you can also just order it from the company. Occasionally they'll do specials. Okay, so I've adhered that to that.
Oh, they can get it locally.
You can get it locally. You can find these little blocks like this color. You can get at Michael's, and maybe the Super Joann's. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to cut these. You can see that I don't really pay attention to. It's, again, organic. So look at that side view. It's kind of cool. Look at that nice. So when this makes a flower, this is going to be like the stamen up here and into this. So we're going to do, I lay this one down and I'm going to lay this one down and I'm going to stagger them. Okay. Stagger. That one's up. This one's down. That one's up. And this one's down. Up. Down. And remember that piece that I held back? There we go. And put that on like a lid. So then on both sides, it's that, but look at here. Look at that. Is that going to make like almost a lily? That is gorgeous. Okay, so watch when I do this. I'm going to bring these greens together like so. And I'm going to bring these blues and purpley things all together. And I'm just going to pinch them. I always tell people, you are in charge of the clay. Nobody but you. So even though like, it's like, no, you drag it till they come together. There it is. Look at that. Pretty. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this.
Hold it still for a second.
Hold it still for a second. Hold on. Let me cut into this so you can see how really awesome it is, because that's the end. Shut up. Shut up. That's gorgeous. I'm sorry. That's just dang gorgeous. Put it in the light. Oh, pretty. Okay, so I'm going to start. I need to make this into a flower. So I'm going to start, and usually when I make these, I let them sit for a day or two, because clays are working with your body heat. You're getting them, you're getting it warm with your hands, and sometimes the outside, in fact, always the outside is much warmer and moves quicker than the inside. So you really want to see how it's distorting. I don't get that much distortion when I'm doing it after the clay is all one temperature. And in fact, when I cut my beads, my single beads, I put them in the refrigerator overnight. I don't really roll a whole lot to get, because it'll torque. I want to keep these lines straight. But you can see, okay, I'm going to cut these little scraps, and there's nothing that goes to waste. I'm going to just cut these. Oh, look at that. It's just starting to look gorgeous. I'm going to put them over here, and I can, if I get time, I will show you. This, I always have one of these going. Put that there. I can put this on here too. There we go. That's good. And then I'll cover that with a piece of white, but I'll do that in a minute. Let's stay on task. Okay. So I'm going to pinch it at the top, because I'm in charge of it. Look at that. Is that cute or what? Okay. Using the table to make a straight line on it. All right. Get one more off of here. We'll put you over there. I'm going to take a better blade. You can get these at Monroe's. It's called a Thomas Scientific. And I'm going to cut this about 3-4 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you cut deliberately. You don't just hack at it. So I'm going to lay these down, and I'm going to take some from this side and some from this side. See, there's a little torque, so I want to straighten that back out. Do you hear the dog?
She wants
She's
down.
crying. Huh. You just jump, little girl. You're a big, strong girl. You can do it. Our blind dog gets on the couch. She can find her way up, but she can't find her way down. And so she cries, and we have to go get her. And then we have to feed her. Look at that. That is one of my favorite flowers I've ever made. It is just beautiful. I mixed, for those that want to know how I did, I used an ultramarine blue, and I used a little bit of violet and a pinch of purple. Look at that. Do you want me to take it over for a minute while you go let her down? Okay. How you guys doing? He's gonna go let the dog down. I'm gonna take a piece of, I use translucent clay, roll it out, and I'm gonna cut 2 little balls. I'm gonna lay that down there. I'm gonna lay one down here.
She was down already.
Okay, I'm gonna let you take that back because I need both hands to do this next step. Okay.
And
so
Robin wants to know about the ring you're wearing.
Oh, that's a Shano ring. Isn't it wonderful? It's made out of a 300-year-old piece of pottery, a bowl. He had a bowl, and he cut this porcelain bowl, and it has some little carnelians in him. He's one of my favorite people and one of my favorite artists. He's the nicest guy I've ever met. I mean, just sweet. Other than my husband. I'll show you. This is a ring. I didn't wear my wedding ring. I should have. But this is, I used to make these all the time. I used to, but they turned out to not be the strongest things. But I have, so sometimes when I'm in here working, I'll just wear them because that's just dang cool. And then here's another one of my favorite rings. This was made by Amy Beeler. She's awesome. I love that piece. And then she made me this. When we went to the redwood forest, I got her some pine cones from the big redwood trees and brought them home. I snuck them out of them, and she made these. She does seed pod jewelry, and so she made this necklace for me, and I love it. Really quite a gift. Very cool. Okay, back on track. So I've got these 2 guys here. I'm gonna push them in, and then I'm gonna grab a polymer clay. This is anything you can use anything, but I use the translucent liquid Sculpey bottles. You need any kind of a bottle with the top sort of like this. And I'm going to turn this upside down. And first I'm going to get it started with my fingers. Flip it over. That little bump gives it some strength up on top. But it also gives a little hump to sculpt around. See, there it is. And you know what? This is like something I figured out all by myself. And I taught it recently at the Tampa Bay Polymer Clay Guild. But otherwise, you guys you're the first. I mean, there's only 3 or 4 people at that meeting, so it wasn't huge. So, okay, we got it going. Got it going on. I'm gonna do the other one. Again, pushing that on my finger, pinching around it, pinching around it, pinching around it. You really don't need much in the way of sculpting tools. You got your hands. I call this my God-given triangle maker. You see that? I can make it into a triangle if I want. Okay, so here we go. And it's gotten started. Now I'm going to, yeah, that's exactly. And I use translucent because it really does bake down pretty clear. And so if somebody really were to look inside of here, like here's one that's done, you don't see it. It's just not there because it's translucent. Okay, I'm going to put this on the top of my bottle. And I'm going to use my fingers and gently coax. I'm not pulling, I'm just coaxing this sweet little flower down. Okay, so there it is. It's not even. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to sort of turn it up. Turn it up. 2 steps this time. Okay, there we go. How cool is that? And then I'll go back in and I will round these back up. Okay. Sorry. Oh, it looks almost like a violet. That's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to do it again. How much time do we have? Okay.
Got about 14, 15 minutes.
Okay, I can do this. Okay. So I'm going to pinch, 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 pinch. All right, so I got that done. We're going to look at them. They both close, pretty close. All right, I want to show you real quick how to make a leaf. Same thing, skin or blend. This is gonna be a little loud. Taking it as thin as I can get it without destroying it. I'm gonna start rolling it. I'm gonna use the lighter side in here. I'm usually a little bit neater than this, but I'm hurrying. I can't believe how quickly this hour went. Well, I talked a lot, didn't I, at the beginning? Shut up.
It goes so fast. Edna wants to know how you bake it so it doesn't lose its shape.
Oh, okay. I bake it on a tile. Hold on. It doesn't lose its shape. I'll show you how I bake it. I got a tile right back here. After it's all said and done, I have a white tile. I have a white piece of paper, and they just sit on here, and I fire them at 275 for a half an hour, and then they're finished.
Awesome, thanks. And then a couple more here. Your Aunt Sandra says hi. And
Hi. Hi. She's awesome. I've just met her. It's just through Ancestry.com that we found her. My mom was adopted, and this is so cool. I have a new family, so I'm a happy girl.
that is so cool.
It is just a dream come true.
Yeah. And then Karen wants
Here's Aunt
to know,
Sandra.
this
Okay.
one's a question for John. Was it love at first sight?
Answer carefully.
Of course.
Who asked that?
That one was Karen.
Thanks a bunch. Actually, we met on Halloween. I was out trick-or-treating with the kids. I'm done. And his daughter was dressed in she was a nerd. And she was obviously wearing her father's clothing. And she was trying to get me to send her father, who was a gentleman, some emails and funny things, because he's a nice guy. And I'm like looking at her, she's wearing a Dilbert tie and glasses with tape on them. And I'm like, I don't need another loser in my life. You know what I mean? And we went trick-or-treating in their neighborhood, and there was John Chandler standing in the door giving out full-size Reese's cups with one hand, and on the other hand, he's got takeout Marco's Pizza, so he's the easy mark. And I just, like, that night, I knew the earth shook. I'm like, I don't need this, but it was awesome. And it's been ever since. I mean, we danced in the house a lot. Was it last night we danced? Yeah, because we just want to. If you want to be close, you want to just.
I will say I was very cautious. I did not want to take any chances. So we went very slow and cautiously and made sure it was going to work. And it was wonderful. It is wonderful.
It is. Was.
Well,
Okay, so I've made that plug, okay? This is a bullseye cane, is what they call this. And I'm gonna take this real quick. I cut these pieces out. I'm glad I did ahead of time. And I'm gonna show you how I make a leaf. I'm gonna cut this way, then one on either side, and one on either side of that. And that should pretty much do it. So there's the middle. And I'm going to just lay that down here. And this is like a fillet I'm putting on the inside. Unfortunately, because I'm in a hurry, I got a bunch of air bubbles in this, but they'll come out during the reduction of it.
Could you give a little clarification in this step?
Sure. What am I doing, like? Is that the clarification you need?
Yeah, what are you doing in this one?
I am making a leaf that we're gonna use for the top of the flower. All my little flowers have leaves. You see that on there? So I'm making that leaf right now that goes on there. And to make the leaf, you have to have your veins in there. Okay. So this is what I have. Skinny, nice little, not too thick. And I'm going to cut it diagonally like a so. And I love a purple or magenta for this, the leaf. You don't really see it as a, it doesn't look purple. It looks almost brown, but I don't know. I like the contrast. Okay, so remember how this was together, right? Watch this. Duh, I have a leaf. Is that awesome or what? And now I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to reduce this. And this is going to look really nice with that color of blue. But you know what? I think what I'll do is go over here to my scrap pile and find, maybe I can find a halfway decent little leaf somewhere. Here's, I know I had one. I'll just keep reducing. Here we go. Here's a tiny little schnitzel. I keep my little schnitzels up there. I'm going to cut one. That's no good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know why I counted 7. And so I'm going to put these right. Remember these were separate pieces. So to give it a little strength in between here, wherever there was the petal joined, I am going to lay these down. It's going to cover a lot of the green, but the green will still show through. It'll look good. And you see, a lot of people pick things up with needles, but it leaves a pock mark. And I don't want to leave a pock mark. I want it to look nice. So just train, if you're going to do this, train yourself to pick it up with your fingers. And the more you work with the clay, your stickier your fingers sort of get. I'm going to press them down. Okay, looking good. Maybe I'll put it back on here a minute. Okay, and then because I want to put a spacer bead on there, I'm going to tamp it down and make it straight. I'm going to take one of my needle tools and I'm going to poke a hole in it. And then I'm going to fire it for a half an hour. So that's what I'm going to do with those. And it's just stinking gorgeous. That is a great pair of earrings. That's going to make a real nice earring. What time do we have? I have about 5-6 minutes. Real quick. I made this ahead of time. I want to show you, because I'll get to how I put this together in a heartbeat, but I wanted to show you another way of making a cane. This is just one of my favorite ways. So I've taken the Skinner blend, which you saw me make, and I've cut it into quarters. Got it? Okay, and I've taken these quarters and I've actually, I did a little bit of an insert of, are you drinking my drink, John Chandler? Yes. Okay, and I'm going to, gotta make a little place for these to live. So I'm gonna take my needle and I'm gonna press in there and I'm gonna cut this here and cut this here.
Amy wants to know, do you listen to music or books while you work?
Oh, I was afraid somebody would ask this. You know what's awful? This is awful. I listen to podcasts a lot, and I make this wonderful, fun stuff, but I'm a murderino. I'm one of those girls that likes true crime. And I listen to My Favorite Murder. I listen to Yardley Smith has a podcast. I listen to it's awful. It's just, I feel so embarrassed because I'm making all this pretty stuff, and if only people knew I was listening to death and murder sometimes, it's terrible. But yeah, sometimes I listen to music. There's always something going in the house. But more often than that, I'm just listening to people whose lives are much worse than mine. I don't know why that is.
I'm with you on the true crime, so.
Oh my God, it's a chick thing. There's no doubt it's a chick thing. I'm just, okay, so I've cut this, just follow along with me. And I'm inserting this. But yeah, do you listen to My Favorite Murderer?
Not yet, but I will.
Oh, you have to. They're wonderful. And okay, so I got these 4 pieces, and I'm going to just shove these. I don't have time to put these little guys inside of all these, so I'm just going to put this together like so. And I got 3 here. And then I take my last one, and I cut it on either side, and I put it like a so. And now I'm going to press these together, and this is going to make the most awesome little, That's so hard. But you can see how that's going to make, I'm going to just keep pushing and pushing, and it's going to be a really cute little cane. And I can show you, oh, hold on. Turn it toward me. This is where I keep my clay. It's not, I forgot about it. And then I'm like, oh God, I can't just pull it out. Okay, this is this same sort of cane where you can see the loops, but if you put it in your body heat, you know, I don't like put it down on my bra, but I put it right here. It softens the clay, and you have this really neat little design, which is what I used to make this. So that's basically where I'm getting with this. Okay, we have like 2 or 3 minutes left. This is killing me. I'm going to show you real quick how I make this into the finished product of the earrings, like you saw over there. I have some sterling silver. I use all sterling silver, and I'm going to, you know, it's really, I'll tell you the truth. Is that about right, John? You cut it off that much? John puts these together. My honey, I give him these, and he puts them together. I pick out the color of the Swarovskis, but he's the one that does this for me. And it helps my hands, because I can't pinch things like I used to because my hands go numb. So this is kind of hard for me. Doing this right now, it just hurts. But, so we do this together. I mean, we really are. This is a cottage industry, and we do this together. We're together 24/7, and we work at this together. It's just that I'm the artist, and he's probably like, what would you say you are, honey?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. At the shows, we call him the CEO, and tell him what that means.
And when the show's over, I carry everything out.
He's the CEO. Isn't that funny? Anyhow, okay. So
I love that. Edna wants to know, so you do make the hole in the wire for the wire before you bake it, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, you can drill it out afterwards, but doesn't.
On those particular ones.
Yeah, on these particular ones. On my like regular beads, my just sliced beads, I drill those out afterwards because I don't know which way I'm going to want them to be. Okay, so I am going to tighten this up real good. I've got a dangle. And I'm going to, you know, if I put this right on here, well, let me show you what happens real quick. God, I just can't see like I used to. I'm just glad I give you this job. Okay, so actually that works pretty good, but I think I'd like them to stick down a little bit more. So I'm going to take a seed bead and put seed beads on the end. Put that in there and see what we think. Crap. There we go. I can see it now.
You know, hold it for a little longer.
Oh, isn't that nice? Yeah, that's a nice dangle.
Put it in the light.
Put it in the light. And what's nice is you can see all the way through. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little spacer bead. And I'm going to take another Swarovski. And I'm going to take a 3.2 millimeter sterling bead. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to grab it like so, roll it over. This is called a gallery wrap. This is not coming off of here. I could do these in my sleep. And I'm going to cut this little schnitzel off and save it because I do turn in all my silver. Okay, so let's see. This has got to come out a little bit this way more. Okay, and then I'm going to take my sterling silver ear wires. Shut up. Is that the cutest thing ever? So there's that.
Yeah, put it on, hang it down a little bit.
Hang it down.
Well, it's hard to.
Is it hard to see?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's better. That's awesome.
Isn't that cute? And then I've made them where they kept looking like little fairies to me, and I would joke that I was.
In the light.
Oh, this way? In the light?
Yeah, that's
okay. So I got to thinking they looked like fairies, and it was like I joked that I would just pinch their little tops of their bodies off, and because I'm just kind of macabre that way because I'm a murderino and listen to murder stuff. So here's a fairy that I pinched the top off. Here's her little feet. She's got some little leggings on. Isn't that cute? It's just, I'm sold out. Every time I make these things, my girls, my people, I always thought that, oh my gosh, well, people just think I'm the most awful person for doing that. No, there's people out there that just love these things and they want the fairy earrings. So then this thing, this necklace, I've added a couple of little flowers to it. And it's just, you know, it's just a fun piece. What am I doing?
It's just for some reason not showing up as well. There.
There we go.
And Kim, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Let's see, where did it go? Oh, do you have a special oven or what do you use?
Here we have a double oven, and so the bottom is dedicated straight to polymer clay because I don't want to mix it up with the food. I always think about how asbestos, they said that was safe. Well, this is plastic. I'm not baking my food with it, especially the volume that I make. It's not getting made with my food. So this place I have the oven, and in Florida I have a convection oven, and at our camper I have a convection oven, little tabletops. Convections keep the heat steady, and you want to always have a thermometer in there just because they can flare up. I also wanted to mention, okay, 3 things. I have an Etsy store. Just go to Etsy and put in Kimberly Arden. My store will show up. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I have 2 sites, but one's Kimberly Arden Fan Club. I started my own fan club. Yes, I know it was sort of a hoot, but I actually don't pay enough attention to it. I need to do a better job of that. But just find me, Kimberly Arden. Be my friend. That's where I show pretty much everything I work on. I get excited and I put it out there. And so if you want to see what I'm making, you'll see it there first. There's also a website. It's just my name, KimberlyArden.com. And it will pretty much all I use that for is to have my schedule out there and have a presence. And then sometimes occasionally a gallery will want to make sure I'm bona fide. So that's one way, yeah, I'm bona fide. So that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kim. That was really awesome and entertaining.
Went fast.
Yeah, it goes by fast. And I one more question popped up, so we'll just do this one real quick. But okay. Diane wants to know what gauge silver wire you're using.
This is 22. I use a 22. A 20 is a little heavy. On the ear wires, I think that's a 19. I like a heavier ear wire, but for the actual this part, you don't want to go 24. 24 is too skinny. A 20 is a little too thin, but I do like a 22, sort of in the middle.
Perfect.
It doesn't matter. Use what you have.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap this up today?
I just want to thank the Guild, and I want to thank all my friends for showing up. This was a big deal to me to do this, to be able to be part of this. Pretty exciting. It's pretty neat, and I love that I'm going to I'll have something on YouTube. Oh, this is so cool. I can show it to the grandkids. That just, I don't know. That just makes me happy. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you everybody for coming. Send me Facebook notices. Let me, just rave about it so everybody knows what you're doing.
And we'll this will go up in a couple of days. It'll be on the Guild of Artists and Artisans YouTube channel if anyone wants to rewatch or if someone hasn't seen it. Okay. And then don't forget to post the recipe for your margaritas. Somebody's mentioning that.
I will put that on Facebook in a few minutes.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys, thank you. Sorry, I'm over a little bit, but thanks everybody for tuning in today. And thanks, Kim. This was really fun. On today. So if you guys are interested and want to check this out, we have another coffee hour on Tuesday at 10 a.m. That's the next one coming up. And that's with Kim Roney. And that one's going to be really fun. It's featuring Comet Coffee in Ann Arbor. So we hope you guys join us. Follow our virtual art series on Facebook. I put the link in the comments. And we'll post all of our info on there. So thank you guys so much and have a great night.
Thank you. Mwah.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.